Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Now, this is a blog about a family of six, a female, her four children, and a boyfriend, and they all lived in the same home. And the kids are on school vacation. The school is out, and the kids are on vacation, and she's a working mom, and she decided to take some time off, as a working mom, and the kids are home, they're relaxing. She can probably find some space and, just to get away for a while. So she decided to take a vacation, and her mother, the kids' grandmother, were looking after the children. In fact, the grandmother took the two youngest ones to her house and would check in on the other two. The other two were 14 and 18. Okay, 14 years is the girl and 18 years old is her brother. And they had separate rooms and everything was good until it wasn't good. Okay, when you talk about encounters of the first, second, and third kind, let's think about it that way. Okay, like when you hear these accounts, it all depends on how far the situation has gone. So we're gonna call it the first, second, and third wave. Okay, so when her mom was on vacation, the boyfriend Jamal came into the 14-year-old girl's bedroom and moving back and forth, coming in and out in her bedroom. And they said it never happened before. When the mom was there, it never happened before. And also, they were never alone. There was always someone there in the house when the guy was there. It was mother, the other kids, the older brother. It was always something that was organized. Okay, no complaints. But now that the mother's away, he is in and out of her bedroom. And it happened that the 14-year-old was in bed sleeping, and she felt the bed list to a side, like when someone sits on the bed and it kind of goes down on the side. And then she's hearing the boyfriend Jamal telling her, move over. And she said that her body stiffened because she became afraid, and she became rigid, like very stiff. And then she felt, like when you open up a window and the wind comes in, you get that draft, that wind on your body. Is like a wet feeling on your face. She said that at one point she felt it on her chest. She felt like there was a breeze on her chest because he had pulled the covers off her, and she was wearing a tank top, and he tried, or he probably did, pull it down. She felt that breeze on her chest, and she became stiff and afraid. And she said that she was so afraid that she just kept her eyes closed, and it was almost though she went back to sleep. Fear can do things to you that are, you cannot even explain it. You're so afraid. I've been there. I know what it is to feel like deep and like really like fear that engulfs you. But anyhow, let's get back to the story. So the mother was checking in on her kids every day. Every day she was calling. So the day that she did call and she spoke to her daughter, she was on a video call and it was on speakerphone. So the daughter said that she was uncomfortable with Jamal being in the house. And the mother said, why? And she said, well, the story that I just told you, this happened. And she said, well, when I was there in the house, when we were all living in the house, did it ever happen before? And the daughter said, maybe it did. It could have happened before. And the mother said, well, why didn't you tell me? She says she didn't want to be dramatic. It was like, he come into the room and, move out. But she didn't want to seem dramatic. So the mother said, well, she's going to talk to Jamal. And the daughter said, well, please don't start anything because I'm still here. You're not here and I'm still here. So the mother called for family members to pick up the daughter. The son, the older son, 18, is in the house, but he was sleeping. So she called for backup. So they came and got the daughter, okay, and took her to their home. So she called Jamal and said, "What is this I'm hearing that you were in her room?" He said, "Oh, it was raining. The rain was falling, so I went in to close the window." And he said also that he was folding clothes, like just folding clothes. And she was like, "But why were you back and forth in her room?" And he was like, "Well, the rain was falling, and he was folding this thing about folding clothes." And she said, "Nah, that never happened when I was there. You never were in her room when I was there. You need to leave. We need to sort this out. But in the meanwhile, you need to leave. I'm not there. You need to leave." So he did leave. And he was asking her to make sure that his fish, he seems so he had a fish tank, make sure that she fed the fish, and that really threw her off. But anyhow, when she came back home to Barbados, and she took the daughter to the Oistins police station, and they gave their statements, the police were saying, well, it wasn't an encounter of the third kind. Like when the first encounter is looking, you see something. The second encounter is when you get into close proximity, it lands. The spaceship has landed. And then the third encounter is when you're taken and you're probed. It's like probing, and that's when it really gets bad. So the police now in Barbados are saying it was probably an encounter of the second kind, when it was a close encounter. You're close up and you're trying to get personal, but it didn't get to the third kind. It didn't get to the third phase of it. So we can't really charge him. And that upset both the daughter and the mother, that the police at the Oistins station did not charge Jamal, because the daughter did become very frozen. She did become very scared. Your memory may not be as good as you think it is when you are recounting stories, especially when you had fear within you. Your memory can, when they say, even in court, they say witnesses are that's the worst part of any trial, the witnesses, because memories are not as good as you think they are. But the mother did the right thing by asking him to leave, getting him out of the house. The police, they needed more proof, but I think it was the fact that the daughter was so afraid. She was so afraid that I think in their minds, in the mind of the police, it affected they cannot jump to the point where something actually happened and arrest him. What are they going to charge him for? What, looking? Or even if he did pull her top down. She's not really sure. She wasn't really sure. But I'm sticking with the mom because the mom did the right thing. But in cases like this, what do you guys think? Well, the guy is gone. He's gone. I think he works at a Western Union there in Barbados. And the mother wanted people in Barbados, to become very aware of these kinds of situations. There are situations that I talk about all the time when you have a male in the house and he's not the father of the children, although they can walk around and act really nice and decent in front of you. When your back is turned, it's a different story. Okay? When your back is turned, it's a different story. It's like you having I'm not going to say it because this is going on YouTube, but domestication can only hold for so long. You will have to actually keep such a tight leash on that particular person. Keep an eye on them. Have videos, like surveillance in your house. You have to go to so many. You always have to make sure you cover all of your bases to keep someone on the straight and narrow. You cannot leave any room for mistakes. You cannot leave any slack. There can't be any slack because there's always that opportunity, okay, and if there's an opportunity that presents itself, the person that you have in that house will seize on it. They're going to jump on it, okay? And I've always talked about the fact that you have the predators in your homes, on the block, in the church, on the job. They're all over. They are all over. Now, this guy, Jamal, I don't know how he's going to proceed in life in Barbados with, well, I guess, you know what? I'm going to pull back on what I just said. He's going to be just fine. Because even when you do something, people don't hold it against you. They may say they do, but they don't. In fact, a lot of young people in Barbados seem to like people who have been to your hotel there in St. Philip. It's like a rite of passage. It's like they like that. They like that. They want to have kids from you. They want their kids to be just like that. Just like that. But this story came to me because the Oistins police station, the officers on duty and the ones who took the statement, they did not, because it was not an encounter of the third kind, they did not charge Jamal, and the mother, who is out of Christchurch in Barbados. She wants you to be very, very aware that if your back is turned, if you are off the island, if someone knows you cannot get back within like a matter of like seconds, a matter of hours or whatever, if your back is turned, anything can go south. Anything that you think and everything that you think that you have under control can unravel because your back is turned. You're not there. She was not on the island, okay? Her daughter dodged a bullet, okay? And hopefully they can, just mend things and pull themselves back together. And maybe the mother would be, more conscious about having someone who's not the father around the child. That she's 14, 4 more years, and she'll be an adult. She could be emancipated and, maybe going off to college or, starting a, first job or whatever. But for now, keep the guys out of the house and away from your children is the best advice I can give. And I want you guys to comment on this. What do you think about what Jamal did? And do you think that the police should have charged him with SA? Do you think he should have been charged with SA, even though the young girl, the young child, became so rigid and became so afraid? And she said that she felt the breeze and that her skin was exposed, but there was some sort of uncertainty. And with Jamal having senior years, and he sees that the 14-year-old doesn't really remember, that goes a long way too. That goes a long way when you can put someone in such fear and their memory becomes so conflicted because he was okay up until that point, that he, as the adult, Jamal is the adult, he can seize on that moment when he sees that she is confused by what happened. And hence, they didn't charge him. They did not even take a statement. He did not even have to give a statement, okay? They didn't write a statement. He did talk to the police, but they didn't take a statement from him because the third encounter didn't happen, and the second encounter was so scary that it became fuzzy, okay? But keep on talking to your kids, and moms, please be careful. No matter how nice they may seem, domestication only goes that far, okay? This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread